Hello everyone, how's it going? I'm Shahab, and this is the first video in the series building modern agentic geospatial applications. So we're going to cover, or we're going to start with basics, then cover and include more advanced concepts, and you will learn the life cycle of building an application, a web application that can be used for geospatial analysis. We're going to include AI algorithms, models of solutions, because, as I said, the goal is to build a modern agentic application. So you're going to learn working with different libraries, different technologies, and how you can manage them, put them together, how you can manage an LLM, large language model, that is responsible for generating code for you. As I said in the first video, we're not going to talk about or going through the basics of coding. No, we're gonna learn how we can use AI, how we can use these powerful large language models to build something powerful, and at the same time consider different important factors like security and things like that, and make sure that the application that is generated or the code generated by these large language models is actually accurate, bug-free, and does not cause other problems downstream. So we will mostly work with TypeScript and JavaScript and also Python. So let's dive into the first things, basic stuff, and then see where we should start. Okay, so here we first need to learn some basic things about developing an application, and everything starts with a front end and a back end. So what is a front end? A front end, in simple terms, it might not be really accurate, but just for now, a front end is where whatever that the user can see and interact with. So because we are going to work with web applications, it means that everything that is shown to the user and the user can interact with them in their browser, it's actually part of the front end. So that includes maps, buttons, drawing tools. Everything else that the user directly has access to, can see and interact with. So in the front end, you barely see computation intensive things happen. For example, data processing, like satellite image processing. These things do not happen on the browser because browsers have limited resources and can have actually access to limited resources. So that's why they cannot be done on the client's browser or the user's browser. So that's where we need the backend. So the backend is where all those things that the user doesn't need to know or doesn't need to see or should not see, they happen in the backend. So it includes data processing, heavy data processing, like downloading data, processing data, giving land cover maps, giving indices, vegetation indices to the user. All these complex things should happen in the backend. Or database. So database is actually part of the backend, where if you want to store information, user data, processing data, the data, satellite data, or things like that, these should be done in the database, which again is in the backend or part of your backend. And streaming results and things like that. So all these pipelines, part of them or all of them are in the backend. And also the authentication. So people want to log into your app if you have a production solution. And then this authentication also part of it, the main part, the backbone of the system is actually in the backend. So let's move on to the tech stack. So we now know what is the front end and the back end. So the front end, as I said, is the browser and whatever this user sees, and the back end is a remote server that I forgot to mention is a remote server or multiple remote servers that all those heavy stuff they can or they must happen in those in the backend on those servers. So to build our modern geospatial applications, agentic applications, we need to use modern technologies, as we call them tech stack in these videos. So this includes libraries that we use for basic web development, and also some more agentic libraries that we need to use for different parts of the applications that we'll build. So for building the web application, we're going to use Next.js. If you don't have any web application or web development experience, don't worry. As I said, most of the coding is going to be done by AI these days. So you just need to know the basics, the high-level overviews to start doing something, and as you put everything together, you need to learn some other things, and then over time you'll gain new skills, new knowledge working with a web application. So we're going to use Next.js. Next.js was developed by Vercel. You can use it in both front-end and backend. And you can use it, the main program language that it uses is TypeScript/JavaScript. TypeScript is the same as JavaScript, except that it has type annotations. So like you can define types, and then that really helps to reduce the chance of introducing bugs in your application. So Next.js is open source. It was developed by Vercel. It has an MIT license. You can see their repo in here. For some of the backend things, we're going to use Python. And why Python? Because it's perhaps one of the most commonly used programming languages. There are great AI libraries, as you know, in Python, and we need them. And you're going to learn how you can have also a backend system that uses Python. So I'm going to simplify all these things for you, so don't worry if you don't know about those things. Everything will be simplified in these videos. So for the database, we're going to use Supabase. Again, why Supabase? Because it's easy, because it has simplified a lot of complex things for us, and you can just create an account and use it for free. So that's a great thing, same as Next.js, and where we eventually deploy our app, which is Vercel. All these are free. So for libraries, we're going to use a lot of different libraries, but the main ones, or the ones that we need to know for now, are the libraries that we use for AI agents. This includes LangChain, LangGraph. So if I go to the repo, so again, LangChain or /LangGraph, it's open source under MIT license. So I think it's the most popular, commonly used AI or library for creating AI agents in different programming languages, including Python. I think that they have the best API or the most complete API in Python. So we're going to also use Vercel AI SDK. So again, as I said, Next.js was created by Vercel. Vercel also has its own AI library, which is a Vercel AI SDK. So this is something that we are going to use, and we're going to use it directly in our Next.js app. So for showing the maps, interacting with maps, drawing tools, for example, drawing shapes, polygons, lines, and things like that, we're going to use MapLibrGL. So for data and the platforms that we are going to connect our app to, our web application, we're going to use Google Earth Engine, GEE, or and Microsoft Planetary Computer, or some other ones. So you're going to learn how you can get data, pull data, remote sensing data from Google Earth Engine into your own web application, or even from Microsoft Planetary Computer. If we have time, and this is something that I really like, I want to also implement and show you how you can implement something like GEE or Google Earth Engine on your own for yourself. So for that, we need a cloud provider, we need a remote server, a very small version of Google Earth Engine, which is our private Google Earth Engine. So we'll hopefully we can also cover that. So for deployment, we're going to use Vercel. Deploying your final app to Vercel is very, very easy. We're going to use that. It's free. You can create an account and deploy your app for free. You don't need to have a web domain at all. Again, you don't need to know all the details. We're going to just see how we can leverage AI to do very time-consuming things for us. And then we can manage AI and these large language models to build something great for us, and make sure that these are bug-free, scalable, secure, and we can over time integrate more AI technologies to it. Yeah, so it was everything that I wanted to cover in this very first video, and in the next video we're gonna start working with or starting the main project. So hopefully I can, my goal is to create a new repo that contains the starter kit that you can download and then follow the videos that will be posted. But in the meantime, if you have any questions, again, let us know. And I will do my best to post the next video as soon as possible. Until then, have a great day. Bye-bye.